Alrighty, it's been a while, ain't it? Well, here's a battle that I've actually just finished off I really wanted to show you. Playing against a guy named Johnny B. Good. And he's playing as France up here, and I'm playing as Sweden. So, really quickly getting over builds. On my left, I've got 4 lifeguards afoot and 2 militias. One of which is kind of in reserve, and one is a meat shield. My plan is that when the first meat shield died, maybe I'd have the reserve one go in. And then on my right, I've got 5 line infantry. And then just kind of behind all of them here, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I guess. 1, 2, yeah, 8. Yeah, 8 gun cav. And here I've got a gen staff. My opponent is playing as France. On his right, my left, he's got 2 old guard and a young guard. 3 gun cav, militia. In his middle, he's got 3 volts and 2 gun cav and a general. And on his left, my right, he's got 2 Swiss and a Fusiliers and a militia, 3 gun cav. Anyway, that out of the way. So you can kind of see how it's developed. There's a few things. First of all, you can see he's just protecting his volts with gun cav and trying to do the thing. You'll see occasionally people do this, where they try to just like split up and go around you. So one of my favorite things to do this is you can see what I'm doing is I just go hard in the direction I want to attack. Like, don't try to march up the middle then. Like, okay, if you're going to try to do that, well, I'll meet you on one of the flanks, and I push hard around here. And also, this is, I think France versus Sweden is always fun, because they've both got gun cav, and it just creates a real interesting dynamic. So here, I'm pushing hard. And he probably does the right thing and when he retreats a bit, because I've got 4 guards, 2 militia, 5 gun cav this way, right? Whereas he's just got 3 guards, a militia, 3 gun cav. Like, I'll win that any day, even if 2 of those guards he's got are old guard. But even so, ultimately, this is gonna I'm gonna talk about, in this game, the #1 thing is hit hard and fast. So here I'm just going to kind of make a note. I see he's doing this retreat, and I'm thinking like, maybe I can get some free shots in the back on these militia. It doesn't quite work out. He does a good job in his kiting. So I want to, congratulate him there. And not in an ironic way. Like, being able to retreat properly is something I'm not the best at in this game. I thought I'd been a little bit harder and more aggressive, I would have got it. But here, he's getting the turnaround. He gets some shots on me. He's got gun cav and support. I probably would have been throwing mine away if I charged now. But that's fine. So here, my goals, I want to hit... Oh, I kind of made a little mistake in the ordering there, so I fixed it. My goal is to just push up, really hard here. And these guys, this line only exists to stop him from outflanking. And you see, as long as I can do that, it gives me a pretty good spot, right? Let's go slow motion for a sec. So, like, look at the flags. He's got a whole bunch of guys over here that, as long as I can just hold them up, not really worry about fighting them too much, I can give myself a virtual advantage. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just trying to push hard and just basically keep a zone here to stop him from harassing these guys' flank. So, I'm like, okay, I see he's retreating. I'll put my guys, like, way up here. Start bringing my cav in. These cav should probably be running. And he ran up earlier, so his guys are... Oh, my guys are tired. Never mind. I was thinking my guys had been better off. But... I don't know why my guys are more tired. I thought he ran very early when I walked for... Well, I guess I went off it. Anyway, that's not relevant to what I'm saying here. So here, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to push up hard. And he's going to try to push here. And see, he's kind of getting up on my flank. By the way, I don't recommend doing this maneuver right here. I think he ends up laying down some stakes, which kind of can... Yeah, he lays down some stakes, which can make it work. But it's not necessarily the best plan, and you'll see in a little bit why. Oh, here he does like a preemptive square. I don't know about that maneuver. which you can see he kind of thinks better of it and unsquares. So here, you know, my militia takes off their initial volleys, which is great. That's what they're for. And my guys get in place, and you see immediately I'm starting to target some of his infantry. And I think he's doing the same, but I'm a little bit faster. And then he makes a big mistake, and he pulls the cav back there. And see, I managed to get in here. I think one of these infantries forms square. The militia, of course, can't, so they're just fucked. So, of course, I charged them. Here, you can see I'm shooting it out, Old Guard versus Life Guard as a foot. And I'm just really making sure I get into his line. And I probably should already be charging these Young Guard. He tries to... See, he hesitates a bit. Charges my militia. That's probably a good maneuver. But now this militia can shoot him. My ones I have in reserve. I get into a square. My horses retreat, but his Old Guard is, you know, at 46 now. These guys get into square when I start maneuvering over that way, which is fine by me. My Life Guards of foot will get some good shots off. Here, I go into square too when I'm running his guys through me. Works out pretty well. And here, yeah, I charge my line. That's where he makes a square. So what happened is he charged my cav with his cav, and then seeing the opportunity, I charged my other cav into his infantry. He formed a square, but now he's taking some serious shots from my lines. This Old Guard is pretty hurt. I am sorry about that barking. They've been very barky lately. It's been making it very hard to film. But you know what? I think in this case I'm just going to accept it. So here, there's just some cav on cav going, and this I see like, okay, his Young Guard is really hurt. His Old Guard is really hurt. So much they can't form square, so I just sweep them off the field. And at this point, I mean, I've got a pretty solid advantage. I'm still kiting here. He's not being as aggressive as he needs to be. And at this point, it's just kind of a matter of bringing this flank that I want to bear. You can see here, he's getting some pot shots on my Life Guards afoot, but not doing too much. So yeah, I'm just like, okay, let's get those chasseurs off the field if I can. Do some cav versus cav, form a square against that charge. His Jenna's around here. So I'm bringing my... Oh yeah, he just tried to shoot at my general a bit. I run him away. He gets some good shooting here, though I make the square. And now, I don't know what exactly he's doing with these volts, but I go ahead and just charge them. But you can see, like, gun cav aren't really sufficient protection for lights. Oh yeah, so I've pushed his gun cav off the field, and at this point it's academic, because what's he got left, right? He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 line, a light, a couple of gun cav. He's got an Old Guard over here. I'm finishing off his general. So at this point, like, you know, I can make basically trades as much as I want, because I've still got these 5 infantry. I've got my guards left. I've got one of my militia left. I've got some of my gun cav left. Here he makes a good charge against my line. I miss it. But that's it. And here his general's starting to run, but my gun cav just shoot him in the back. And yeah, I mean, not much left there, so I can kind of go ahead and fast forward a bit. These guys, you know, I squared when he routed the other ones. He tries to reform a line, and I just kind of form my new one here. Get super close to his volts.
Our men are running, sir.
We fight with bayonets because at this point he realizes he doesn't have much left. And pretty soon I give him the bayonet charges. Just yeah, there you go. And I think yeah, these guys I do end up doing you know, get them in missile range, in gun range, shoot, and then charge. But you know, same basic deal. Here, I think yeah, I'm already just going with bayonets against his militia, who are running and trying to form his own line. Doesn't really matter. Anyway, very good game. And